Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, we all know that William RUTO has 1 year left to probably deliver. That is 2026, because we can't count 2025. We all know that towards the end of 2026, the politics shall have already taken a particular direction, and RUTO will be seeking to find any possible way of getting re-elected, because right now he is being confronted with the reality that that might not happen.
In fact, I dare say, if there is something, if we really need to preserve this country called Kenya, we need to remove this thing called 50+1.
Oh my goodness. The reason as to why they want it removed is because they want to front so many small political parties so that even if the president gets 30%, he will be declared the president. But I'm telling you, if there is one thing that safeguarded this country, it is the 50+1 vote.
Now, because of that reality, some of William RUTO's lieutenants have surfaced with a very shocking proposal of changing the constitution. One thing that we know is that 50+1 is what whoever wants to become the president must attain. That is why in 2022, RUTO was pronounced the winner by Chebukati, because according to Chebukati's math, RUTO hit 50+1. In the event that the first round does not attain 50+1, the subsequent round, then there is the issue of simple majority. Now, Member of Parliament by the name John Njuguna has surfaced with a suggestion which Kenyans have rejected, completely rejected, because according to Member of Parliament John Njuguna, he says that 50+1 should be removed. Now, the motive behind this proposal is what is shocking Kenyans, ladies and gentlemen. So in this analysis, I want us to go into John Njuguna's remarks and why we think John Njuguna's remark is not what Kenyans want right now. But before I explore this story further, ladies and gentlemen, kindly like this video, subscribe to this channel, and to our existing subscribers, I want to continue thanking you so much, because without you, this channel wouldn't have grown. 50+1 vote should be removed.
In fact, I dare say, if there is something, if we really need to preserve this country called Kenya, we need to remove this thing called 50+1.
Oh my goodness.
The big question is, should you think that is what Kenyans want? Is that William RUTO's survival strategy?
Wale wanaongea mambo mingi wajitayarishe kwa hii mtihani. Wasiongee tu hivi. They must have a plan, and that plan must be better than mine. Lakini kama ni kuongea tu hii kelele, watazama asubuhi na mapema. So usiwe na wasiwasi.
Now, let us look at this matter extensively and the possible strategies that we think the UDA government can deploy to try to counter the growing threat of them not being re-elected. Let us first of all go to Eugene Wamalwa. There's a statement that Eugene Wamalwa issued during, I think, Fixing the Nation interview that takes place in NTV. Now, Eugene Wamalwa said that there is a deliberate plan to have Gen Zs, vie for president in numbers. Let's say, for example, I'm just using Eugene Wamalwa's expose that if RUTO decides to sponsor, let's say, 5 Gen Z presidents, most likely what's going to happen is that they are going to split votes of the Gen Zs. Because RUTO now knows that the biggest threat that he has is if these Gen Z's votes go to a particular direction. Let's assume if they go to Matiang'i, all of them, or if they go to Kalonzo Musyoka, all of them, then most likely is going to face a lot of problem. When MP John Njuguna talks about removing 50+1, he is very sure that RUTO is not going to get 50+1. Because right now, based on political analysts, majority of them believe that the match that RUTO can attain in the subsequent election, or rather in the coming election, is 30% of the votes. That is what RUTO can get. So this is what many people seem to believe. And if this is the case, then this confirms why Member of Parliament John Njuguna thinks that the best thing to be done is this 50+1 to be removed, so that should RUTO get this 30%, then the other Gen Z presidents are sponsored. Then they get at least 5, 6, someone gets 10. Then probably Kalonzo Musyoka gets 28, 29. Then there's another person by the name Matiang'i also gets something 20 plus. Then if this rule of 50+1 is 50%+1 is removed, then you find that in that strategy, RUTO will triumph, because he shall have sponsored many Gen Z presidents who are going to complicate the matters for potential winners like Kalonzo Musyoka or Matiang'i. So that will be a strategy. What we know very well, and we also witness in the US, is that most presidents who win overwhelmingly in the first term always get difficulties in the second election. And we saw that with Barack Obama. When Barack Obama won with the majority of the votes, in the second election, he survived. You know, we can say he survived because the margin was iliko kidogo sana. He almost lost to the Republican candidate back then. Now, let's get back to this strategy. The bottom line here is that RUTO is looking for a survival strategy. And we are told that 50+1 is a proposal that has come from his camp, removal of the 50+1. There was a time when Maraga threw his weight behind the proposal to have himself be a presidential candidate. What happens is that Maraga never shown indications of vying. But when the moment is shown indication of vying for presidency, there was another narrative that emerged that Maraga was being sponsored by William Ruto so that he can divide the Gusii votes and he can ultimately divide the Gen Z's vote. Now, Mora Kibaso is another person who many people have been saying that he is doing his politics, but commercially. He's just doing the politics he does because he aims to get something out of it. See, there were talks that he's only doing this because he wants money out of it. But we don't know that that is true, because there's already talk that him joining Gachagua, someone he had pronounced very corrupt, someone he had said that is corrupt to the core, him joining the same person he accused is enough indication that he is a mole there. So many narratives have been thrown around regarding this whole thing over splitting the votes of the opposition. Now, with the emergence of this reality from Eugene Wamalwa, that there are so many people, Gen Z presidents, who are going to be sponsored, we can't say that that is a lie. We can't as well also confirm whether that is true, but you know, in politics, anything is possible. So we are confronted with a tearing reality here that the faction of William Ruto wants to remove the 50+1 policy simply because it will favor the incumbent. William Ruto getting 30 to 38% of the votes will surely guarantee him a win if this policy is removed, and if again many people vie. You know, this is Moi's script. In 1992, during the multipartyism, that is the time Moi was threatened. He knew that his chances of survival were very slim. So what did he do? He made sure that many people vied for presidency, and that is how he won. And the same card was played in 1997. Again, many people vied, and Raila became number 3. Number 2 was Kibaki. There was Ngilu. You know, there were so many other people. But again, Moi's card worked to his advantage because he won and the rest did not win. The opposition combined, if you combine the opposition, worried that the total votes that the opposition had was almost 70%. So Moi survived with around 30 to 35%. So this is the same thing that the faction of William Ruto is trying to bring on board, remove the 50+1, so that should Ruto get between 30 to 35%, he will win, but via a very slim margin because the opposition is not united. Let me take you back to the politics of Gachagua, Jubilee, Kalonzo Musyoka. Maybe you might want to agree with me that the opposition is not united. One, when was the last time you heard Jeremiah Kioni say that they are going to go to vote for Kalonzo Musyoka? These days you hear Jubilee advocating for Matiang'i. Don't you think that is a strategy to split the votes? That is already a strategy to split the votes. Because we know very well that Kalonzo Musyoka is not going to allow Matiang'i to vie. That year, second Matiang'i. And Matiang'i also looks at this as a best opportunity for him to throw his weight behind the presidency, targeting 2032. So this is the right time for him to try his luck. So because this is the right time for him to try his luck, he's definitely going to go to the ballot. So we are seeing a scenario where Matiang'i atasimama, Kalonzo asimame, Maraga asimame, labda Morara Kibaso pia asimame, Martha Karua asimame, wote wasimame, alafu Ruto gets 35% of the votes and becomes the president because the policy of 50+1 itakuwa imetolewa. Are you seeing what I'm seeing, ladies and gentlemen? I just want you to go below in the comment section and offer your reaction regarding this explosive revelation from MP John Njuguna about removing the 50+1 mark. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until we catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.